Hey there, I'm so excited to be starting season three of Two Brown. I know it's been a while, but season three is a revamp. We've got special guests, and these are all women because season three is all about women's wellness and our well being. So I've got people who are going to talk about sexuality, intimacy, what it's like to be a plus size model, being Daisy, from spirituality to a makeup artist to even people who have lost someone very dear to them, and so much more. This will make it so relatable to us because we all go through the different things that we face, different kinds of struggles. So, season three, it's all about women and how we can feel relatable, but also empowered. There will be lots of practical tips that will help us through the everyday stuff that we go through. So make sure you do check it out. I'm so excited today to have Sakshi, who is a plus size model in Hong Kong, and she's been doing this for the last 4 years. Not only is she a plus size model, but she's also graduated from university studying accounting. I mean, wow. So that's two very different things. And so I just love the fact that we can have her here talk about her experience and what it's like to be not only a minority, but to be a plus size model in a place like Hong Kong where, majority of the people are Chinese. So welcome, Sakshi, and tell me all about it. Let's get
Thank
started.
you. Thank you so much for having me here, Karina. Yeah, so it's like Karina beautifully sort of sums up. I just recently graduated from City University of Hong Kong studying accounting. And I also do plus size modeling on the side, doing photo shoots, runway shows, and different types of collaboration with different creatives in Hong Kong. Yeah, so I think my journey sort of started when I got that first yes from this fashion show called Harmony HK. And before that, I was kind of interested in modeling, but I think there was a part of me that was really self conscious. When I was in high school, I still remember that when I was like 13, 14, in this crazy Hong Kong heat, I would wear a sweater on top because I had hair on my arm and I looked too fat. So I wanted to conceal that in that sweater. And then I think sort of slowly, my confidence started building up. And then I tried out for my first show. So Hong Kong actually has a lot of school fashion shows that they do. So it's almost for charity where they raise money for charity, and international schools will have fashion shows inviting different student designers or different brands to showcase their clothing. And I still remember my first time auditioning for that show. It was, I think, if I remember the school correctly, it was Renaissance, really far away. And I was super nervous. I didn't do any makeup, but I know one thing I did was I curled my hair, and it just the next day, it was like this frizzy thing. And I just went there and I did the walk, and they told me I wasn't, like, they said no, like, we're really sorry. And of course that didn't, like, sort of bump me down, like, oh, I can never be a model. And then I was like, okay, let's, and then I saw Harmony's poster, um, that they were looking for models for their show. But then at that time I was having my public exam, and the next day was my math exam. So I was like, should I go to the audition or should I study for my exam? I studied for my exam, so I
Mm.
didn't go. But then luckily, I was like, next time I'll give it a try. So I did. And the next day, after my audition, I got added into this WhatsApp group. And it says Harmony Hong Kong models for fashion show. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I got selected or if I'm going to if they added me into the WhatsApp group to tell me that I didn't make it and kick me out later.
Wow.
I couldn't
Okay.
believe it, right? I
Yeah.
was like, wait, hold on, what? And then 2 hours later, the organizer texted, congratulations, you are the models. Here are the details. We'll have a photo shoot here. And that's sort of how it just started. And then, yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. Well, firstly, congratulations just for representing Daisies, but also just being proud of who you are in the, it becoming like being really comfortable with your own size and being able to model that and just giving women that kind of platform to see that this is possible.
Yeah.
But I'm sure this wasn't an easy way to get into. So talk about what it was like to be a model, being brown, being plus size in a place like Hong Kong. How is that like?
Um, a lot of rejections. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. A lot of you do face
Yeah.
a lot of criticism and rejection. You're not the right look. We don't want you. A lot of discrimination as well. Being Indian, yeah, that's already like a tough barrier to break. But I've
Yeah.
rarely seen someone who is desi and plus size in this industry. Because there are a lot of creatives, like a lot of ethnically diverse creatives in Hong Kong that are breaking the glass ceiling, and they've been doing amazing job. Like I know someone who did Vogue's photo
Mm,
shoots who's also Desi, and like guys,
nice.
girls, like all these different types. But then when it comes to when we go to casting or even going to agencies, it also depends on how the agency people treat you. So the whole modeling thing is basically you get gigs from agencies. So the booker, or let's say like the people from brands would go to the agency, and the agency would
Yeah.
find would show them the different people that they're looking for. And then based on that,
Mm,
they would say, oh, we'd like to meet these people for a casting. And once the casting, and then the
mm,
models would go for casting. And if they like them, that's great. If they don't, then they don't hear back from them. But I think there were times where I went to some agencies and I wasn't even treated like the other models. An example I can give you is I went to this one casting, my first ever casting actually, for an agency to be be under their agency sort of. And I was there kind of like the second person, and so the first person went to get their measurements and headshots taken. And then after that, this other Chinese girl comes and sit next to me, and the photographer sort of comes out, and instead of me going next, she asked the Chinese person to go next. So I was waiting for quite a bit of time, and I told them that I'm sorry, but I have to go soon. But I don't know how long do I have to wait here. But because the other person came after me, but she is getting her headshots and measurements taken first, and they were like, "Oh, we're really sorry." And then what they did was super unprofessional, where they're like, "Okay, just come into the room." So while the main photographer was dealing with the model, my headshots were taken on a phone. So not even like in a professional camera, just on a phone, really quickly, side, side, side. Okay, done. Measurements really quick. They're like, okay, you can go now. And I did feel really pissed about it because I was like, why is it
mm,
that? Is it because I don't have the look and they're going for more Caucasian women? And it's also a thing where a lot of these job casting, they're always looking for a specific type of people. So it's very rare, or maybe once in a month, or like once in 2 months, you would find gigs that are looking for plus size, ethnically diverse models. So there's also the lack of opportunities that is being presented in the market for sure, which makes it
mm.
difficult to sort of build your portfolio and this and that. Yeah.
Interesting. So, do you see a common thread in which types of um, brands or whatever have you that are more open to plus size and ethnically diverse
I would
models?
say majority of my shoots have always been for activewear. Because activewear now they're becoming more inclusive with like what they want to show how activewear looks on a thinner person, and also on a plus size person as well. So I've done a lot of shoots with activewear with multiple activewear brands. and it just sort of shows like they want to showcase the product types on different body types and such. Or sometimes we would also get shootings for underwear, so like lingerie. But it's like, or either it's mostly fitting. So there are different types of modelings, right? So you have the photo shoot modelings, and you also have fittings, where you just try on the clothes for your measurements and see if it fits, and such. So they're looking for like a live mannequin, basically, to see if the clothes fit and such. So those are like the most frequent type, I would say. But but yeah, yeah.
Okay, interesting. And if you were to give someone advice about what it's like to start out as a model who's not the majority, what would be your go-to tip for them?
Just go for it, to be honest. Like, yeah, like a lot of people face rejection all the time. So what? As long as you have fun, as long as you feel confident in your skin, and then like you enjoy the progress of photo shoots and such. It's such a like you shouldn't shy away from opportunities like this, I would say. I could have easily given up after I heard the first no, but it's just there's just something in me that if I hear a no, I'll be like, okay, time to prove you wrong. Let's go. And so
Nice.
for me, it's like for me, yes, there is a lack of opportunities in Hong Kong where I cannot showcase, my different stuff. But then it's all about the waiting game. After multiple of no, you're bound to hear one yes, or you're bound to have someone or a brand who is looking exactly for your type, because that's also a really big thing, right? The brands are looking for specific looks, and if you don't fit that look, don't blame it on yourself that you don't look that way, but rather it's
Yeah.
like okay, they're
Yeah.
they're looking for someone that fits more of their brand style, because it's something similar, right? It's a basic analogy I would use is, let's say if you're going to a festival, or if you're going to a conference, right? And you're trying to pick out clothes, they're like different colors of clothes. Do you think the other clothes would feel bad
Hmm.
because you didn't pick them, and they're not worthy of like being worn to a conference like that? Right. So that's basically what it is, right? So they're looking for a specific type of people with specific body type to represent what their brand is about. And sometimes, so nowadays, after Black Lives Matters, right, we've seen a rising trend on brands using ethnically diverse models in their photo shoots, and like and their representation. One example I can give you is I used to work in Landmark as an intern, and every time I would pass by, I don't know if it was Gucci, I think it was Gucci. And right there's like this really nice poster of a Sikh model, like wearing a turban, representing that brand. Um, and it's like
Nice.
yeah, like totally go for it. It's like right there doing modeling. Yes, Hong Kong is a bit behind on all of this, but then in the western
Yeah.
side of the world, they're definitely picking up. So this also matter where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, despite all the struggles, what keeps you wanting to do this more?
Um, Good question. I don't know. I think I like the thrill of it. So when I did my first fashion show, the walk, I still remember the first time I walked on the runway, and the cheers I got was amazing. Like it's like that time where everyone's just rooting for you, and you're like, wow, okay, this is how everyone supports me. I like being on the runway. So for me, I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then there's so fashion shows completely different from photo shoots, because photo shoots you sit on the makeup chair for like 30 minutes, an hour, change into clothes, snap here, pose, 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 different poses, change to another set. But fashion show, on the other hand, is a completely different thing, where it's just so you walk. The walk is what, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. They see your outfit,
Yeah.
go back. You have to change to another outfit. You have to change to another outfit because your line is in the next 1 minute. Strip down, throw on the other clothes. Hair, makeup, touches will be happening while you're waiting in line, and then you go again. So a lot of people they were like, I've been told that how do you change so quick? I was like, because I've lost all shame,
Mm.
so I'll just change in front of everyone. Because there is no time. No one's
Yeah.
looking at anyone because everyone's just so hectic and they're in their own lineup. Like, okay, the next outfit I need to wear is this with the shoes. And then after that, I come back. Okay, I
Mm.
need to wear this outfit and this and that. So everyone's just changing. It's super hectic. But that's the beauty of it, right? Because you're constantly changing,
On a go.
you're
Moving,
constantly
yeah.
moving. Your brain doesn't get time to think, right? So the
Process.
recent
Mm.
fashion show I did was for the Hive runway, where I had four outfit changes, and literally one of the outfit was like the green dress. So that dress was actually custom designed by Root Mask. So they used green masks, face masks, to make that sort of dress, and then they paired up with
Wow.
gold jewelry, so giving that Medusa vibe sort of. And the heels were like super tall. And I was just like, how am I gonna walk in these? But that's the beauty of it because once we're out on the runway, we don't think about, okay, am I walking the right way? Am I doing this? The mind just goes blank, and you're just like, I need to look straight, face blank, and just give that I'm a boss vibe, and just walk, and then come back and then be like, oh, okay, I didn't know what happened, and then go change again. So yeah.
Mm. But do you actually get trained to catwalk and pose and all
So
of
for
that?
some shows, they do have trainings, but mostly it's on the day itself. So for me, even I'm confused as to how did I learn to walk? Because I just I never took any training. I never did, any formal training on posing or walking. It's like once I'm on the runway, I just walk. Yeah.
Mm. So it kind of came
Yeah, it kind
natural
of.
to
It's like,
you.
okay, I've got this. I know what to do. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. So what are the great things that you love about what you do when it comes to being a model?
Honestly, it's just meeting new people, getting dolled up. I suck at putting makeup on, but just when makeup artists are like working on me, I just love that feeling. I've been told that how can you stay still for so long? I was like, I just can't. So because sitting still is very important so that the makeup artist can sort of put lines or put makeup on properly, especially if it's heavy eye work as well. So you cannot twitch your eyes too much or twitch your
Mm.
mouth too much. So I have the tendency to just sit like an animal doll and just let the makeup artist do their work. So I love getting dolled up.
And you're able.
Yeah, and I can sit for 2 hours just not moving. Like just
Wow.
sit there. It hurts my back for sure. But then once I'm done, no phone, no anything, and it's like a good detox as well because I'm not constantly looking at my phone or yeah. So one time if the makeup artist has just like doing some stuff, then I'll quickly look at it or fix my hair and stuff a little bit, but then back again, just just staring at the mirror, like okay, yeah, do your work and stuff. So yeah, but then I think one of the things I love to do the most is how confident I am in front of the camera. And it's something
Mm.
that I wasn't, it wasn't me when I was 12 or 13. I used to be really shy. I didn't like taking pictures because of the way I looked. Um, and it was like, those, yeah, I had that self conscious period where I would be like, no, don't take photos of me. I look pretty ugly in all of them. Um, you know,
Oh my
uh,
God.
and
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like slowly you get to adapt to yourself, to your look. But then again, it's not like a thing where I feel like, oh, I'm confident every single day. There are days, even like now, where I'm like, what am I even doing? Like, I don't feel
Mm.
confident. I don't look pretty. I don't feel pretty. I am like the other girls are so much prettier than I am. Like, oh, I wish I was prettier. This and that, but it happens. Or I wish I was bit more slimmer, or yeah, the different. So it does happen. It's
So how do you bounce back then when you have all that kind of narrative going in your head?
I would say it's just um like when I have that, I allow myself to have those feelings, because if I keep telling myself,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, no, honey, you're great, you're fine," I'm just lying to myself. So I allow myself to have those feelings. I allow myself to cry. And I have amazing friends where I look up to, and I would tell them, "Oh, I'm feeling this way," and they would be like, they would console me. But then there are days where I feel like super confident, and it also matters what you wear. So for me, my choice of clothing should represent how I am, and it also shows how confident I am when I wear certain clothes. If I'm wearing
sure.
let's say if I'm wearing something that I don't really like, then you could see it very obvious on my face that
Yeah.
I'm not feeling the best today, and I wish it was prettier, slimmer, face a bit slimmer, this and that. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally hear you. So how does your parents take all of that? Are they supportive? How do they get on board with
Super
it?
supportive. So my mom always wanted to be a model or like an actress, because she used to dance when she was young, and she would do something like similar of sorts, but she never really got the opportunity because her parents were relatively strict, and they were like, "Oh, why do you want to go so far? India is super super big, right? So most of the shows were happening in
Yeah.
Chandigarh, and we're in Amritsar, right? So it's like a 4 hour drive. And oh, do you want to go so far? This and that. No one will take you. So she never really got to do that chance. And now that she sees that I'm getting those chances, she's like, you know what? Go for it. We can totally support you. So I'll be like, oh, mom, I have a photo shoot. And
So
she's like, okay, go. Yeah.
are there anything, do you feel like there are things that you have to do that makes you feel like you're not so sure you're comfortable? Has there ever been a case where you're doing something when it comes to modeling that you're not super comfortable
Mm,
and you're not sure how to express that, or you're just caught in between all of that?
mm, yes. So, I mean, modeling, as great as it is, there are a lot of scams out there. There's scams.
A lot of what?
So majority of the gigs that we find are mostly through Facebook groups, and with the rise of different people sort of scamming, and there are a lot of fake job posts as well. So I like sometimes you would get this most I remember I got this most random message. They're like, "Oh, you're a plus size model." I said, "Oh yes, I am." They're like, "I'll pay you $700 per hour. Can you take photos of me in sexy lingerie?" I was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." Right? And I immediately blocked that person. He was like, and he said, "It's just for my personal self." I was just like, "No, no, this is not it."
You wanted you to take your own photos and send it to him,
Like he wanted,
and he was going to
yeah,
pay you for
kind of like sending nudes, and then you get. And I was like, "No, no, this is not."
that. That's not you
But
modeling.
then
That's not really
that's not.
modeling, though. But that's kind of
But
how
that's how they frame you. They're like, "We'll pay you for
yeah.
go do a photo shoot, we'll book a hotel or this and that." It's super sketchy as well. So like one thing that I'm really super firm on is that there's something that I don't feel comfortable in, I will tell the person that I don't feel comfortable
Hmm.
in doing this. So an example I can give you is for the fashion show that I did recently, the first walk, the first brand that I had, they had given me a bodysuit. So I'm okay with bodysuits, right? It's deep neck, super fine. But they said you have to walk out like that, just in a bodysuit, nothing on your legs, which means your butt is showing, your jiggly legs are showing. And I was like,
So it's like a bikini bodysuit
kind of, yeah. So
or like a
it's kind of
swimwear.
like a
Yeah.
swimwear, but it's like more of a everyday wear kind of thing. And I said to them, So it was like very little coverage down there because of the bodysuit was super high up. So in the sense that pretty much, and I
Oh,
was like,
right.
I'm on a bigger, I'm relatively bigger, and I don't like if I were to wear this, it's not gonna be. I would definitely not feel comfortable, and especially on a platform where everyone has their phone now. Videos could circulate online super fast. So, and I told them straight up, I don't feel comfortable wearing this. If find another model who can wear this, or pull me out of the line. I'm not gonna walk. So what they did was they're like, okay, so they made me try on different clothes, and then there was finally they found a bodycon dress, which was I think from the video that you saw that I have on my it's just the first one. And that was like, it was so much better than the bodysuit. And I was like, feeling it. So sometimes when you wear outfits that you don't feel comfortable in, it's very important to voice out because
Yeah, because you lose in
yeah, exactly.
confidence,
It
right?
would not only would affect your confidence, but it would also show to the people that you're not comfortable in that outfit, you know? And so, and then, normally I'm okay with wearing any type of outfit, but I was like, if it had been a photo shoot, fine. But if it was for a walk, no. I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna wear that. I would wear something where I'm more covered. So then that's where the body dress comes in, and it was like super nice, like giving that hugging figure vibe. And I was like, okay, I feel confident in it. My straighten up my posture, head straight, walk. I mean, yeah.
Mm. So is that a plus size thing that you're concerned about, or is it because you just don't want people to see you with lesser clothes,
I think
like more?
it's the latter. Like I don't want to have people see me in lesser clothes,
Yeah,
especially if it's live. Um, yeah. Because
yeah, I can
photo shoots
understand
I
that.
can control what's going out there and what's not. But
Yeah,
with runway,
yes.
videos are everywhere.
Everyone's got to know
Everyone
you
has their
right
phone out.
there.
So I'm like, no, I don't want to risk that. Yeah.
Very clever. Yeah, that's smart. That's very
Yeah.
wise. Yeah, cool. Yay. Are there anything that you want to share when it comes to your journey with being a model and the struggles, the good stuff,
Um,
the friendship, the connections that you've built that just have made this journey so amazing for
yeah,
you?
I think I mean
Because you're
in my
so
4 years of doing photo shoots and stuff, it's been super amazing. The people that I've connected with, and just building up those connections with photographers, with makeup artists, because now I know, like, okay, if I have an idea, I know who to reach out to, and we can implement that idea to life,
yeah,
right? And I think one of the things I want the people to take away is that yes, modeling does pay good, but sometimes, or majority of the times, it's very much like it's mostly TFP, so time for portfolio, because you need to build up a portfolio to show to clients on a
right.
scenario, right? So that's how I first got started, like doing the fashion shows, getting photos, going collaborating with different people to get my photos taken, and then putting them into this thing called com card, and then that com card sort of then you can send it out to casting people. It's like a portfolio of you
Mm,
in different lightings, or in different shoots. Say if you've done like a really creative shoot with like really heavy eye makeup and really bold expressions, you have that. You have the more simple look. You have like e-commerce that
mm,
you've done. So e-commerce, for wearing clothes and just standing straight, and so that they can post on their websites. So this and that. So I think it does take time to develop the portfolio, and you would hear a lot of no's, but then eventually you'll get to that one yes that will launch your career or something. So just keep trying. Never
mm.
don't be like, oh, I'm never gonna get accepted for this. Just keep sending your portfolio to everyone, Because even though they may say no now, they still have your portfolio and they might call you back for
Yeah.
another photo shoot where they might deem you seem to be fit.
But how do you start if you've never modeled before and you're interested? How do you build a portfolio to start
I
with?
would say try to take your own photos first, right? So just go out or have your friends take some photos of you. Like, you're dressed up nice, take some photos and also practice posing quite a bit. Because sometimes, oftentimes a lot of people, when they would take photos, they'll be like either like stand rigid or like, do the little yay. But playing around with like, poses, sort of like with your hands, just going around putting your hair in different positions or just like, getting a lot of different shots really help you to build up your portfolio. So find friends who could help you take photos, who would guide you, like, get, invest in like, so wear the clothes that you normally would wear, but also like, take some cinematic shots and stuff to build up your portfolio. And then once you do that, once you have some basic, like at least I would say 6 to 7 photos, then you can start sending them out. And then if you see someone who's looking to collaborate, and majority of the time, a lot of these gigs can be found on Facebook as well. So if you feel like, okay, you know what, I want to partner up with this person, then just reach out to them. And then if you're in, then there we go. Like, you have a makeup artist, you have a photographer, and everyone's paying by their time, but then you still get exposure and
Mm,
the photos afterwards. Yeah.
yeah, which is brilliant, which is kind of like the
Yeah.
segue to
Yeah.
getting gigs. That's so cool. So you see yourself continuing this journey?
Absolutely. I'm not stopping anytime soon. I
Yeah.
am not stopping anytime soon.
Yay.
I'm just gonna keep waiting, like, getting opportunities, this and that. So just see where it goes,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
I love it. I love that because it's so cool to see that, especially in Hong Kong, where you don't see a whole lot of brown girls. You don't see
Yeah.
Daisies modeling, let alone Daisy that's a
Yeah.
plus size, because it's yeah, it's just not
Hmm.
done enough. So to see both of that is huge because then you kind of breaking the norm of what you should
Yeah.
look like and what kind of ethnicity you should be. It's you're not white and you're not Chinese, which is amazing. Do you know what I mean? So I love that. I love
Thank
that you're
you.
doing
Thank
this. So
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's such an honor to have Sakshi here today to talk about her journey being a plus size model, and it's been amazing. So thank you
Thank you
so
so much for
much.
having me, Karina.
If you've enjoyed this episode, do comment through Instagram. You can find me on Hookem Healing, but also do share it with your friends and family or people you think would benefit from this particular episode. I'd love to hear from you. And do make sure to check out all the other episodes that have been on To Brown. Thank you.